This is an introduction to one-point linear perspective. Linear perspective is when we use lines to draw things so they look like they're going back in space. So they look three-dimensional. So they have some perspective to them. So the lines will converge onto a vanishing point. In this case, it's just one vanishing point, but there's also 2, 3, goes up to 6, lots of vanishing points. So we're going to start off just by talking about one-point perspective. And how we start out is we draw a line across our paper that is horizontal or parallel to the long edge of our paper. Make sure it is straight. Now the horizon line, you can abbreviate it HL, is representative of your eye level. So that is different depending on whether you're standing or sitting or lying on the floor. Now this point I put on the horizon line is our vanishing point. And since we are doing one-point perspective, we only have one vanishing point. All of our lines that are going back into the distance are going to converge on that one point. And you can abbreviate it VP. How we start off is we draw a square or a rectangle. So you want to make sure your ruler is parallel with the sides of your paper. You don't want to do anything slanted or crooked. So draw your sides. And then you're going to draw your top and your bottom as well, making sure those are also parallel to the edges of your paper. So now we have a nice square rectangle with right angles. The sides are parallel with each other and the top and bottom are parallel with each other. Do not make any slanty sides. Now we are going to draw the other corners of our box back into perspective to that vanishing point. So you're going to line up your pencil on the vanishing point. Take your ruler, line it up with the corner of your box, and draw that line to your vanishing point. Now you're going to do this with all three of those corners. Those lines going back in perspective down to the vanishing point are what gives our box its depth. Those are called orthogonal lines. So it's the nice long line going back to the vanishing point, or OL. So right now our box looks like it's going on and on forever and ever back into space. We don't know where it ends. Well, we want to change that. We want to see the end of our box. So what we do is we take our ruler, we make it parallel to the opposite edge of the plane that we're trying to end. Make sure it's parallel, not slanty. And then slide your ruler for however big you want to make your box look. Make sure it's parallel and draw the line within those two orthogonals. Do not make it crooked. Now where that end of our box hits that orthogonal line, on that little intersection there, put your pencil tip there, line up your ruler so it's parallel with, again, the opposite edge of the same plane, and go ahead and draw your parallel line there. And that will be the bottom edge of our box. So when we're above the horizon line, we see the front, the side, and the bottom of the box. It's like it's floating above our head. So now we're going to learn to draw one where it would be sitting on the ground. So that would be below the horizon line because it's below our eye level. Once again, draw another square or rectangle. Making sure your sides are parallel and your top and bottom are parallel. And here you can pivot your ruler on your vanishing point so you keep it constantly lined up to that one point. Draw your orthogonal lines back to the vanishing point. Now see that how I didn't draw them all the way back? That is because I know that they're still lined up with the vanishing point. And so I can just line them up with the vanishing point and not draw them all the way back. If you're comfortable doing that, go ahead. If you'd rather draw them clear back and erase them later, that's totally fine. So now I'm drawing the back edge and the top edge of my box. So when something's below our eye line, we see the front, side, and the top. Now we're going to draw on the horizon line. Now this one's a little weird. It turns out a little strange, but it is correct. So I'm going to start off with my square or rectangle again. And now I'm only going to draw these two orthogonals because we won't see a top or a bottom on this box since it's right on our eye level. So it looks a little weird, but it is correct. I'm going to label this one on the horizon line. Now how you can tell you shouldn't draw the other one is if I line up as if I were to draw an orthogonal line and my shape is in the way, don't draw the orthogonal. Now I'm going to show you how to label your true vertical and your true horizontal. So your true vertical should be parallel with the vertical sides of your paper, and that's the up and down sides. And your true horizontal should be parallel with the top and bottom of your paper. If you intersect a true vertical and a true horizontal, you get a 90-degree angle. So make sure you label these on your assignment because these are very important. You want to make those sides of your boxes true 90-degree angles. So now we're going to talk about the assignment. So draw everything that I did in this demo. You want to have a horizon line, a vanishing point, orthogonal lines, true vertical, true horizontal, a box above the horizon line, below the horizon line, and one on the horizon line. So that's a total of 3 boxes. You need to label everything. And once you are done with all of that, make sure you write your name on the paper, please, and turn it in on Canvas. That's all. Good luck. Let me know if you have any problems.